welcome to Weekend Project. I'm Laura Lynn of the Mama Pop Quilt Shop. Thank you very much for joining us. I'm working on something I've never really tried before. It's called Hexagons. I'm sure you've heard of them. And they seem to be the classic version of like Grandma's Garden and, you know, for scrappy quilts and stuff like that. So I have an AccuQuilt cutter that does this size. I think it's 2.5. Yeah, 2.5. And I cut them all up. Literally, it took me maybe 3 minutes to do this, if that, and that's even setting up the whole contraption to do it. So super easy. So I've sewn a few strips together. Okay, I've got a couple like these. There's about 15 on them. My goal was to do a beach bag, to make them into a beach bag eventually. Of course, it's going to take lots of rows to get there, but that's what it's going to end up being. So, but the process we're going to show is how to put the hexies together to make rows, and then how to put them all together. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. So I hope you stay and watch. But last weekend project, we did something for my great niece Claire, something for her room or her space whenever she wants to hang it up. So I thought I'd just finish it off. I'll show you how we finished it off. I'll stand up here so you can get a better picture. Okay. So I took a few suggestions from our viewers, and I put a nice big ladybug on there, put a couple of spiders, and I trimmed it out in this beautiful purple fabric, purple and white fabric, a little bit of a pattern on it around the binding, and I just love it. I am going to get a tape measure from the fabric store, and I'm going to put it, I thought maybe down this side, but you know what? I think I'm going to put it down the back because I really like that growth chart idea that someone had. So that was fantastic, and thank you everybody for offering your tidbits. And I think the project turned out great, and I hope she loves it. So, all right, I'll just tuck it behind me here. There we go, and we'll work. We'll get some work done around here. Okay, so how we're putting the rows together is the key point with hexagons is you don't want to sew all the way across. You don't want to go sew all the way across. You have to stop 1/4 inch. Okay, you have to stop 1/4 inch and stop 1/4 inch from either point. Okay, and it just be like it came straight down, that sort of thing, because you're going to need that 1/4 inch flap to attach the next piece when you come here to here, right? So you kind of need those little bits, and that's what we're going to do. So when you're on your machine right here, you're going to start 1/4 inch down, and then you're going to sew, putter away, and stop 1/4 inch away, and then cut. Okay. And this is handy in case you went a little too far. And you're just going to make sure you have your little 1/4 inch seam there on all your little separation bits there. Make sure you're 1/4 inch on both sides, okay? Because you need those little flaps to attach. Okay, all right, so we're going to make some more. We're just going to sew across. Okay, that was, it was a little directional, not directional, but a good side and a bad side, but it was just the thread. Which side was shiny. So remember to start 1/4 inch away, do a little back step, come all the way down to about 1/4 inch away, do a little back step. So, and mine were 15 long. I did 15 of these to make the row that I was looking for. This one right here to do the length of, you know, because I'm going to put the sides of these are going to end up being the side of the bag. So it's going to end up at about this way, and then the bottom. So it's going to have a lot of hexies. I'm calling it the Blue Beach Bag. That's what it's called. The Hexy Blue Beach Bag. And we just keep sewing them on. Stop about 1/4 inch away. That's the hardest part, because we're so used to going all the way gung-ho. Stop at 1/4 inch away. It's like, gotta keep reminding myself. I've picked out a lot. Because I'm like, okay, listen, Laura Lynn, get your stuff together. Stop making more work for yourself. Okay, so I just finished this one off. And I'll show you how we're going to link them all together. Okay, so we got 2, 4, 6, 7, a few more. Okay, and I have 3 that are all put together. Okay, right here. I'll show you. I'll lay it right there so you can see it. Okay, And it's not perfect, but I'm trying. I'm trying something new, and I'm getting better as I'm going along, and I'm not getting too frustrated. See how I said too frustrated? Because sometimes I got my moments. I'm trying not to get too frustrated or too discouraged. I'm going like, the corners aren't meeting up, or I've got this little space here or something. In the end, it'll all be okay. I'm pretty sure. Okay. And I guess you could just do like packs of 2 to go through at first if you wanted, and then you had, you know, at least you know you had enough. Or you could just put your packs of 2 together to make 4s and 4s to make 8s, and there you go. Oh, see, I started at the top. I tell you. Thank goodness it was just a stitch or 2. But I did notice that when we were trying to do the other section, I needed to pop a pin in because the hexies that we're trying to deal with are a little small, like for my first time of trying to deal with hexies, right? Okay, so I'll just put that one off to the side so you kind of go what we're getting at here. So I'm going to take this piece right here that we have, and I'm going to line up one of these other pieces to fall within the little zigzag of it, right? I think because I had a dark one on the end there. Actually, let's choose another one here. I don't want 2 dark ends together. If that makes any sense. Okay, so how we're going to place these 2 together is you go like this. First, you kind of visually match them up. Okay, right here, and you're going to sew these 2 together, right down there. Okay, remember to stop 1/4 inch and 1/4 inch. So we're going to flip this in this direction. We're going to line up those 2 edges, okay, from edge to edge. That's why you stopped 1/4 inch, right? Because you need that little extra flap to line up. You're not going to sew all the way down to it, but you need it. Okay, pop a pin in here because I found with my little, this is only a, you know, 1.25 inch edge here. So to make that sure it's going to stay together, I'm sorry, my fingers aren't big enough, so I'm going to need to pop a pin in. So I'm going to take it into the sewing machine here and start and stop 1/4 inch away. I can't stress that enough. Okay, and no lead foot Larry here. Okay, and then just do a little back stitch. And then you take it completely off. And we line it back up. We go, okay, that's looking good. Now we need to make sure we have this edge and that edge together, okay? So we're going to attach those 2. So we take them and we flip it. We make this little guy right here and fold it in half, about as flat as he's going to get. And you line up your 2 little edges, okay? And you pop a pin in, and you're just going to sew that, okay? All right, back over to the machine. I can see why hexies are very time consuming. I just had a couple of friends over and they were dropping off a quilt to get quilted up in the quilt shop here, which I'm very happy for. And she goes, "You're not hand sewing those, are you?" I went, "No, I'm not." I think she was like, "You're crazy." Okay, so now we have that seam and this seam, and now we need to do this seam. So we take it and we fold it and we pinch those 2 together. And just like that. And we just keep repeating all the way until she's done. I cannot imagine doing a whole quilt like this. Honest to goodness. I think I would be picking the biggest hexie I could find and have about 12 and that quilt's done. I'm sure I'll grab more patience later on, but I was just like, they're so tiny. Remember to stop. Stop and start 1/4 inch away. It's almost like borderline mini quilts. Okay, see? And then back again. And then we put this seam in with that seam, okay? We're going to tag them up. And that's how we work it. Just back and forth, back and forth. I did find that trying to lay the one next to it, like this one right here, kind of flat. If you can get it from point to point, and it to lay like a half point flat, like it's in half. It seems to line up this edge a bit better. I don't know why, but I'm not going to argue with it. So, yeah. Okay, did I do that right? Yes, there we go. So that would be the halfway point. See how it's folded in half there? And I think it just takes that edge out of the way. Just moves it out of the way for you. It's not bothering you. Okay, put your little pin in. If you need to put a pin in, I do, because it was shifting on me in the first row, and I was like, I was getting a little, I think I said, get a little frustrated, but I got it. It's not 5 o'clock yet, so there's no drinking. Okay. Okay, and I noticed some of my little areas were puckered a little bit, so I just kind of stretched it, and maybe some of those little seams were just like 2 or 3 little stitches too far in, and that seemed to help. So, all right, so we're finding our halfway point, and we're putting those 2 edges together. Okay, and underneath the sewing machine. Okay. And just line it up with your other little edge and stop at 1/4 inch. And that's literally how we're plugging away at it, and give it a press, pop it over to your machine. You can press at the end of your row or after every couple squares or hexagons, really, sorry, they're not squares. And see, that's how it's going to turn out. It's looking really good, eh? Okay. So sew a couple more, and then we'll pretty much call that weekend project, okay? And hopefully it won't take me too long to get the bag done. And I'll show it before next weekend's project, okay? Because I gotta figure out pockets yet and the liner. So what I'm trying to build right now is the outside of the bag, the blue beach bag. I was just gonna, this is just scraps, just stuff from my pile, and used my cutter, and, you know, took my pretty cover off of it and got it all out. And like I said, 3 minutes, and I had all that I'm probably gonna need for this bag. You know, if I need to cut some more blue, that's okay. All right, see, I was gonna say, yeah, it's moving away on me. There we go. But I could see literally doing every color of the rainbow in a hexi bag. I mean, they are pretty fantastic, and they are pretty. I mean, and everybody go, oh, where'd you get that bag? Nico, I made it. You want one? Wait, don't say it that way. Clearly I had too much sugar today. Or not enough. I think it's the not enough. Okay, so we're gonna fold that one previously in half, so you get a better angle. Coming up underneath the sewing machine. Move that one just a little over. For some reason it wasn't quite lining up. And the reason for the back stitch is to make sure that when you go to, you know, wiggle your seams all together, you're not ripping all those stitches that you just sewed right in, right? So trying to do some little preventive resewing. See, in this one, I came up a little bit too close on the, when I was sewing the bottom one up. So I need to pop a couple of those stitches here just to give me enough for my 1/4 inch. Okay. And that's where you don't just make it work, you just, you try and wiggle it and pop a couple of those stitches and try and get it to fit the best you can. Okay. And I noticed some fabrics were more fray than others, like it would fray a whole lot faster. So, oops, that one got a little extra there. Okay, and that's how we're going. So I'll do this one here, and then I'll press, and then you can kind of see what I've been up to. And as you can tell, it's clearly going to take a while. Okay, so here, give it a little press. Okay. That's when some of those little poppy corners and points can get flattened down too, okay? Okay. So those will go all there and there together. And then I'll just add another row, just like that. And off we go to the hexi blue bag, okay? Well, actually I'd probably do it the other way because for some reason I had 3 of these all in a row. There we go, that's a bit better. There. So what do you think? Hopefully everybody likes it and checks out next weekend project to see the final view of the bag, because I clearly have some work to do. So thanks everybody for watching, and hopefully the cameras were good so you can see the angle on how to put a hexie together, the hexie sections. So just a little quick review here. You just want to line up that one to that one, this one to that one, that one to that one, and away you go. Remember to visually line up first, do a little flip, so back, visual, and then that's how you don't get lost when you're trying to do your little V's and stuff like that, okay? So thanks for watching and subscribing and upvoting and everything that goes on with all those little magical things out there that make us good and lovely. And don't forget to check out Long Arm Wednesdays. Okay, thanks everybody. Take care and have a great weekend. Bye-bye.